Welcome to the Strategic Oracle, the transmission space where timing meets soul and wealth begins with the rhythm. Let's begin. Happy full harvest moon. Here we are almost at midnight in Eastern Daylight Time. And so for some of us, it's October 6th. And then for some of us, it's going to land on October 7th. Whichever the day, it's still this luscious full moon. In fact, it's a supermoon, which means that the moon is brighter because it's closer. Actually, the biggest super full moon is going to happen next month on November 5th, but we can enjoy this one too. And so if you have clear skies, go out and night gaze and really look at that gorgeous harvest moon because she is rich with bounty. She wants you to fulfill your dreams. And the dreaminess is about how you are more of yourself because she's an Aries. And so she is a little feisty and she is fiery and she is bold and courageous and feisty. And with that opposition with the sun, meanwhile, the sun is like, hey, I am super sweet. I'm super kind. I'm super chill, which the sun doesn't like it here, by the way. We adore it because Libra's awesome. But the sun is like, yeah, I only have just a few more weeks to go and then I'll be done. So the moon is going to take full advantage. The moon is going to be like, yeah, I'm going to wrangle you to the mat. Think of them wrestling, right? Moon's going to win this time. Absolutely. She's definitely going to win. And it's at a 14 degrees. So that's a 5. 1 + 4 = 5 in numerology. So it is about change. It is about making sure that it's going to sound weird, but just bear with me for a moment. In the tarot system, this is about being human. And so it's about mastering how to be fully you in every aspect of your being. So we could think about that from a, internal perspective, your mind, body, spirit, or the mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual bodies. Yes, that is definitely yes. On the other side of that, we could think about it as every aspect of your life, your home life, your friends, your fun, your, work life, your material possessions, things like that. And I'm going to say yes. Libra is about wholeness. And Aries is as well, but Aries is more, this is mine. And how many of us have lost ourselves in relationship? That's not awesome. And so this can be a reclamation time. And so, yes, because Mercury is also at the center of this full moon, because Mercury is asking for adjustments in the way that you're opening yourself up to your big dreams, and the way that you're taking action to achieve those big dreams, and the way you are wanting to unleash and unlock yourself to come out of the box. And so that all feels super yummy. And we do have yumminess here. We've got yumminess in that magic triangle, which I'll talk about in a moment. But we also have a really deep expression where Pluto is here and Pluto is wrangling with Mercury. So Pluto is, I am going to stir things up that were beneath the surface, and Pluto always helps you deal with it, and I'm going to help you deal with it. Pluto's still retrograde. We're still in that excavation time. It's another week before Pluto goes direct, where then things become really evident. So when we're doing our meditation right now, the whole month is about showing up and being visible. And so we always think of that as showing up and being visible, and we picture ourselves on stage. We picture ourselves doing a video that goes viral. We picture ourselves, maybe even I'm going to do personal, in the family reunion, and everybody's just adoring like what we're serving and what we're doing and how we're talking. Yes, but that's only one way we can show up. Another way we show up is by showing up for ourselves. What is our morning routine like? Now, I have a story about one of my groups. I adore my group. First of all, I adore my clients. I just freaking adore them. And so I came up with a 2-minute, now 2 minutes, right? Morning incantation back in February of 2022. And I've been doing it since then. And so, of course, it's morphed and changed for me, right? Because you do something 1,000 times, it's going to actually, first of all, you have it imprinted. And then secondly, it's going to evolve. And so I have been suggesting, recommending, encouraging, mentioning, think of all the soft words to entice people to do it. And then I started badgering and then nagging and then, kind of giving it as homework and then following up and asking about it with my clients, right? 2 minutes, 2 minutes. You can do it while you're brushing your teeth. And so finally, it was like 6 or 8 months ago, top of this year, and people were complaining about things not going as well as they wanted them to. And I'm like, can you take 2 minutes for yourself in the morning? Two. And then we had a contest, and then I ended up giving them prizes. So I basically paid them to do it. Now, the shifts that have been going on, someone didn't have any clients. All of a sudden, she's so lousy with clients, we're increasing her team. Another person wanted to do a major shift, and now that major shift is happening. Literally, I can just go on and on and on. There's been wins all over the place. 2 minutes. Now, I've been hanging around in billionaire rooms. They talk about 90 to 120 minutes in the morning. Imagine if you took even a fraction of that. Imagine if you took 30 minutes. Now, if you think about it, you're like, okay, cool. I go out for a walk. I sit and have my tea or coffee. Oh, I, do yoga or I do do training. That's great. That is really, really good. We absolutely want to keep that. What about if we added just another time block, 10, 15, 20 minutes to gather yourself? This is what I mean about showing up for yourself. Maybe you do an envisioning for yourself. Maybe you, meditate if that's in the flow for you. Maybe you do a little bit of a drawing or doodling or some sort of design. Maybe you do a little writing. Maybe you do a little reading. This is about you putting on your best version of yourself. This is what I mean about showing up. Because then when you do that, you start building a scaffold of a number of days that you've been doing that. Now in weeks and then months, all of a sudden when you do show up on those stages, you're so much more you. You become so enchanting, so intoxicating, so magnetic. So that's what October's about. And with this full moon being so much brighter and in Aries, this is what she's asking you to do. Because remember, Aries doesn't have anything to do with anybody else. Aries just has to do with himself. And so let's be that person that gathers him or herself in the morning so much so that you're galvanized and you're ready for action and you want to take on the day, but you're also really tucked in. You feel it's like a little bit smug because you did this in the morning. And so it helps propel you through the day so the day becomes more effortless. Yes, this is it. This is Mercury talking to you right now. Because Mercury was like, yes, hells to the yes. I love to think and I love to use my mind. Ooh, baby, what if we did it more in the morning? What if we fed my mind even more and we had conversations with ourselves and we really connected and we really observed and then we perceived and then we imagined and then we intuited. That's all Mercury, all of it. And so here's that Mercury gift that he just wanted to give you on this full moon. And so let's kind of look to see what kind of vibe you want to be looking at because your seat of power has different expressions. And so I'm going to go through the intuitive signatures, right? So wise strategist, you are the thoughtful planner. Go for it. Intuitive visionary, you've got to have some dreaming space in there because you want to be inspired. Collaborative explorer, think about your heart. Send a few love notes to yourself and to others. You're the connector. You want to definitely connect. Ruling warrior, accomplishments and strengths. That is definitely what you want to recall. Creative superstar, you can take some time for design and beauty. Take a sigh or an exhale before you start the day. And then loving alchemist, it's all about value. It's about going super, super deep into your own wisdom. And so for everybody, these are great tips for you if you're looking for ideas of how you want to connect to yourself in the morning so you can show up more fully. And so with that, we're going to step into a beautiful meditation. So let's take a deep breath. Have our water, pen, paper, journal. If you're driving, you're not closing your eyes. Just going to let the words wash over you. And we're really going to go into the currency of us. So we're going to envision that beautiful bright moon right in front of us. She's more brilliant. She's feisty. She's fiery. And then we're going to imagine the sun because it's Libra, this is kind of crazy. We're going to have the sun sit on both sides of us. We're going to have the sun sit on the left of us, the sun sit on the right of us. This is a first. That's fun. And so as we are getting into ourselves, where Mercury's sitting behind us, he's actually going to be chill. He's not going to be chatty. He's going to let us observe, perceive. He's going to let us open up our minds. So let's do that. Let's open up our minds. Let's envision the whole upper chakras, from the throat up through the head and to the top of the head, the ears. Let's imagine this beautiful white glowing light. Just super connected to our higher selves, super connected to the divine, super connected to the heavens. And then with that sun on either side of us and with the moon and with Mercury behind us, let's envision that there's this beautiful figure 8 set. One going out to the sun on the left, going through our hearts, out to the sun on the right, through our hearts. So it's horizontal. And it's just going through different aspects of ourselves, who we are, who we love to be, ourselves and others, just beautifully connected in the wholeness of us. And then we're going to imagine another figure 8 going out from our heart, out to the moon in front of us, and then back through our heart, and then out to Mercury behind us and back through our heart. So we have these beautiful 2 gentle, flowing, harmonious figure 8s. And with the one in front of us, we're going to allow that one to drop down through our solar plexus, through our sacral, through our root, down into the Earth star, and bringing that energy up. Even though Aries is fiery, it's very earthy because it's very evident in life. And so we're going to feel the bottoms of our feet, our ankles, our knees, our hips, our diaphragm, our shoulders, our jawline, our foreheads. Taking a big sigh, whew, because of that, have that harmonious flow from that Libran energy. We had that beautiful, gorgeous depth from that Scorpionic energy where Mercury is residing. But then we have that fiery energy from Aries. So as we're sipping from the moon with that beautiful figure 8 from our heart, we're drawing it into ourselves, into our heart, into our solar plexus, into our sacral, down into our root. In what ways are you fired up? How do you love to roll up your sleeves and dive in? What is so incredibly intoxicating to you? What are you obsessed with right now? Even if it's a beautiful recipe you found on TikTok. There's no wrong answer here. It's not like we have to, solve world peace right now. We're here for us. What lights you up? What fires you up? What gets you feisty? How do you want to roll up your sleeves and like make fists and like punch out at the world, right? And let's let a little bit of that energy go. Let's envision us, with like boxing gloves on. Envision us, taking a few those jabs. Let's feel something fall down and crumble before us. Maybe it's an obstacle. Maybe it's a person who's just aggravating. Maybe it's a situation. Let's just, left, right, boom, boom, boom. Just watch it shatter. How inspiring is uplifting is that? Whew. You kind of shake that off and then you'll have clear space. And then you can use that Aryan energy to do what you want. Because you have more space and freedom and more time, less effort. And how do you want to pull yourself up and pull yourself in? What's your seat of power? Think about putting power pants on and putting on a cloak, right? Maybe it's the thoughts and the plans or the hopes and the dreams or the people and connections, or your accomplishments and strengths, or that luscious design and beauty, or that depth of value, whatever it is, let's put that on. And then let's think about showing up in the different ways that we'd like to. Let's welcome opportunity into our life. Let's open the doors in front of us and the windows before us. Let's set this as our pelts of power as we radiate out into the world and as we have those conversations for that ripple effect. Let's know without a shadow of a doubt that what we crave craves us. And let's sip that in from the sun on either side of us and from Mercury behind us and Aries in front of us. With the moon, the sun, the stars, the earth, and all of the magic in the world. The wealth, the impact, the power. And let's celebrate how we show up and how we make ourselves known. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes and have a soft gaze. Rub your hands together. Take note of your feet and your shoulders and your hips and your elbows and your forearms and your wrists. Roll your neck a little bit. Shake some things out. We did some shattering, which is good. And we did some fulfilling, which is even better. So if you have water in front of you, take a sip. If you'd like to make any notes, go for it. If not, let's just bring in this energy into your day. And when you get this about how your day goes, then you might want to stitch some of these types of activities in the morning for yourself. So, happy full harvest moon. And let's let the harvest give you bounty in the days and the weeks and the months to come. Till next time, happy soul tidings. You've been listening to the Strategic Oracle, where success isn't scaled from speed, but from soul. If this stirred something real, follow it. Apply for activation, enter the vault, or pause right here. Integration is leadership too. Because the truth is, you were never meant to chase the timing. You are meant to become it.